Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio.
Everybody, good evening to you, and of course, welcome. Good to have you here on New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And of course, guess what? We take you above and beyond. Of course, it's time for another session. Yes, as we talk in Pageantry Talks with Adina Pollard Simon. I don't know why I almost said Philip, but yeah, you know what I talk about. So let me say. Good evening to Adina. Hi, Adina. I think I muted you. Say anytime with your mic. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, Sir Charles. Good evening, listeners, viewers. Good evening. Happy, blessed Monday to you, Sir Charles.
Oh, thank you so much. And a blessed and a beautiful one to you, too.
Of course, it has been and it is continuing to be one. Don't mind, I had an eventful day, a very productive, fulfilling day.
Well, I mean, it's here in Trinidad now, you remember where you are located, the amount of things that are happening in this little space. Woo!
Wow. True, I agree with you. It's nice to have you back here next Monday and next bumper day. Today is filled with so much of excitement in this little space that we have. So I want to dive right into it. Thank you for having me again in your space. So Charles, I hope all was well for you with your weekend, your week, leading up to today. I hope that is for you, and I wish for the others as well.
Thank you so much. Everything was well. Everything is well.
Yes. I'm happy to hear that. And I want to welcome the listeners today to Pageantry Talks. I am Adina Pollard Simon, aka Queenie, your talk show host, who was once a contestant, who also held directorship under the Miss Plus World Trinidad and Tobago, who is also still the director for her own brand, Miss Bold and Beautiful Pageant Trinidad and Tobago, which is, as we would sum it up, a pageantry professional who train, coach, fashion, pageant, sometimes being a head judge. It's so much hats we wear in pageantry person. It is unbelievable. This show, many times I will get questions. Pageantry Talks is about pageant. Yes, what is pageant? Where you would compete either in your community, at a community level, either at a national level. And we also, from there, we branch off and go into regional, which could be any part of the Caribbean, also international as well. I have learned so much, people. The show is exciting. It has been growing. I cannot believe I'm almost into the trail to be 1 year. We just started, as we like to say in Trinity, just the other day. And look at where we are. The amount of segments is interesting. The goal for this show is for persons to learn who are, especially if you are thinking about entering into the pageantry world, You can learn a lot from here. And even from the guests, that's the main thing. The guests that, yes, from myself as a veteran in the business, but the thing is to have the listeners listen to the guests because they give a lot of insights. The reality, it is not fake. This is the walk they walk. They give you their experience, what it takes to be, as we like to say, a pageant queen, a pageant sister. It's not an easy one. It is full of challenges, but has been rewarding. And at this point, behind the crown is a history. At this point, I want to give you a little teaser. We have royalty in the house, people. Royalty. I am so happy that I can share this space. I mean, she would have been here before, and we would have had some hiccups, but she's here again, people. This time, her bio, people, trust me, her bio could reach from this island to her island. But before we bring her on, people, we have in Trinidad and Tobago and different parts of the world, we have so many women that leave their mark, leave a trail to follow. This lady is a power woman. And in her island, trust me, I can say because I am blessed to know her for a number of years. She's very passionate. She has purpose. People, if I start to read this lady bio, it is going to take from Trinidad, as we like to say, drum rolls, Trinidad and Tobago. And we want to welcome my sister queen. She is currently the Miss Plus World title holder of 2026. Portia is in the house. And people, before she come on, I had the pleasure, I can't give you all everything, but piece by piece here, I had the pleasure of being in Portia company. So, Portia, welcome to Pageantry Talks. It is a pleasure. From St. Lucia, I'm sending you some Trinidad and Tobago love and carnival excitement at the same time. How are you?
I'm good. And you? What about you, Sir Charles? It's nice to be in your presence again.
It's good to be here with you also.
Yes. And I'm happy to have her. So we are going to that. This program, this hour, is about you, Portia. It's dedicated because she's very supported for persons who may ask, because I have some listeners who would listen, watch the show, and then send me text messages. So because I would have posted on my WhatsApp status, I would have been getting questions a few minutes ago, who is Portia? So I told them tune in and they would know who is Portia. I'm not going to give anything out. That is what today's show is about. Portia, I want to dive straight into it to you. This lady here wears so many hats. I would leave some of the explaining for her. I would like you to introduce yourself, because I know you are no stranger to this platform here, and she's reigning. I was hoping that I would have seen the crown today and her sash. I'm sash behind. But I know she has a busy schedule. So without further ado, I present to you all people Miss Plus World 2026, Miss Portia, the star.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, all those who may be tuning in. And yes, this is your rating Miss Plus World 2026, Portia Gustav. And like Adina said, I probably wear too many hats. But first off, let me apologize for not having my sash and crown. I had an appearance to make today, and it stayed in my office. So I'm so sorry. But I know you have pics and you can put it out there so they can see. But I am so sorry. And the thing is, tomorrow I have another interview. So I said, you know what? To come back home and go back down with it tomorrow. It didn't strike me that, listen, you have to wear it tonight. but I do apologize. I hope I'm forgiven. All right. So I am an educator by profession. I teach theater arts at a primary school called Gordon and Walcott Memorial Methodist School here in St. Lucia. I am also a dance teacher. I own my business called PD Kids Clubhouse, which is a program that I run for the Easter, Christmas, and summer to keep kids entertained while they're on school break. I'm also an actress. I belong to the Open Waters Theater. I am part of the church worship team. I have done intercommercial calypso. Oh my goodness, what is it haven't I done? I've chaperoned, I have directed and participated in pageantry. So, oh my God, yes, Adina, I'm now thinking about it and oh my goodness, that's a lot of hats for somebody to wear.
Yes. And that's what I like about Portia. Despite all those, I mean, we share similarities because I myself have some of those same hats that you wear. But you know what I like about her listeners, viewers, she is very humble. If you get it, she knows when it is to kick off those shoes and have a good time. But this is the life, and I want to first address what you would have mentioned. You are forgiven. It is understood. You are a reigning queen. People, she was just, when I said just, it is not even a month since Portia has been crowned. So I want to extend to you, Portia, my understanding. I myself would have had those days and still carry some of those actions where we would have to you'll be caught at last minute. So if you drive, you have to keep certain things in your vehicle, right? Sometimes you move to one place and it's the other. There are places where you have to wear the crown alone, or crown and sash, or there's a sash. So I know it can be hectic, and I understand fully well. So you don't need to apologize, but you are forgiven anyway. So it's understood. Portia, what I want you to let the guests know, our viewers, how recent you would have obtained this title and crown, where was it held? What was the lead up for that particular pageant before we dive into other questions, other areas of the pageants?
Okay, no problem. So the pageant was held in Nassau, Bahamas from the 13th to the 19th of January. So literally 2 weeks, only 2 weeks since the crowning. So this pageant, leading up to the pageant, we had quite a few tasks that we were charged with, and that started off the elimination process. Because rather than having 25 ladies, so we started off with 29, and it boiled down to the final 6, and then it boiled down to the final 4, which became the royal court. And as you would know, Adina, in this pageant system, all pageant systems are different. They operate on their own rules and regulations. So with the Miss Plus World pageant, they've now included Miss Stellar World, which is for the regular size ladies, but they may have already had kids, because a lot of our other pageants for the regular ladies, they don't involve ladies with children. But this one, you can have kids and still be in the pageant. So they've included the Stellar World. This is Stellar World's third operational season. So we had 4 queens in there. We had Miss Stellar World, and then we had the Miss Plus World and Miss Plus World for the fuller figure ladies. Yes. So this is what basically this pageant system is about. We have 4 different titles because of different age groups as well. Because a lot of regular pageants, they stop at probably 26, 27, maybe 28 for the most. But this pageant system goes up until you think you can't make it anymore, because our outgoing Miss Plus Intercontinental was 52. So, it doesn't judge based on age, size, race, gender. It just accepts you, providing that you are able to hold yourself within the grounds that they're looking for.
This is interesting. So, when I look back, Portia would have just sold out part of my pageant history. I have known Portia for quite some time, and just like her, I would have entered Miss Plus World. And it was it was a bittersweet, a bumper ride for me because there was so much experience. And I mean, I was fortunate and also blessed to be amongst some very beautiful ladies, educated internationally. I know they would have a few tweeting, a little editing changes because the former, I would like to pay my respects as I always do. We call her Mama Nanette. Deceased now, Nanette Weeks. She was one of the founder and owner of Miss Plus World, along with our dear Mama Constance. These two ladies are the perfect example of what pageantry and also as plus size woman mean and what you bring to the table where you can. I mean, because I have grown a lot from them. I mean, sometimes when I look back at my journey in Miss Plus World, I am amazed because in 2019, I mean, we really had a sisterhood. We still connect, but life happened. As I say, life is lifing, right?
Yes.
Things happen where each one of us, and it's good to know out of that, we would have formed our own group called Push a Button. All right. It's so nice where, I always encourage every guest that is part of pageantry to message me about it because I'm forming again as the hats one out of one, and it's about connecting the network. That sisterhood and the brotherhood is really something that I take near and dear to my heart because that push a button, we are all humans. Beside the titles and all the achievements and I call it the cherry on top of the cake and the icing, right? There's time between those icing and we have little cracks. And we always need, when we talk about holding up your sister or brother crown, right? That is literally it. So that push a button came from me from 2019. But I want to Portia, when did your pageantry journey start? Where was it? Because there are other questions, so I'll deviate a little from Miss Plus World. And who gave you, or what motivated you to enter pageantry?
Okay, so I think I really need to think back. And don't mind me, I'm using my little.
People, let me interject. I gave Portia the same, and it's nice to see Trinidad and Tobago is being represented in St. Lucia. Thank you, Portia. That was made with love. That was made with love.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
So,
It's
just
given
a
her
lot.
a little
If I
focus.
turn on the fan, it will make too much noise.
So she's waving her Trinidad and Tobago fan that I gifted her. When she was saying, thank you. Oh, that's what see the sisterhood, people. You see,
Yes.
connect. This is how we show our love in different ways. Someone may not be there in person, but the fact that these are the things I have so much gifts from so many countries that every day, like, if I speak with them, I do the same thing that Portia just did there. And I'll be talking and across the screen and the phone, the video. I'll be like, I know what's going on. I'll be like, okay, I'm talking to Nigeria, I'm talking to but that's nice. So you see, it rubbed up and she didn't even know because those are private conversations.
Yes.
But I know your journey is long, but I would like to hear, and I am, the viewers to hear as well, where your journey would have started or who or what motivated you to enter pageantry.
I think that I always knew that I would have been a pageant girl, to be honest, because as a little child, I always remember taking my aunt's heels and walking across the house with it and dancing away in it. And I remember me saying, one day I'm going to be carnival queen, but sis, that was not for this girl. And I think my first pageant was actually in secondary school, where I did the Miss Central Castries pageant. I placed second runner up. After that, I did La Wen Creole, which I won. That was also at school. Girl, you're bringing me down a journey. People are going to know my age by the end of this. And then after, I did quite a few others. Can't even pick them up right now. I did Miss Sports Queen again. That was also at school. So I did quite a few pageants in secondary school. I did Miss Sports Queen, first runner up. Then I moved on. I did Miss Curves with Confidence. This is a charity pageant. So basically the funds are used to purchase items for school for the underprivileged children. So I did that pageant twice. There's no limit as to how many times you could do it once you did not get the queen title. So, for me, because it was all about charity, I didn't mind. After which I did the Miss Plus Intercontinental, second runner up. And then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try out and do the Miss Plus World. And here you have it, your title holder.
Yes, people. Wow, that is quite a history that we are hearing here with our royal, just recently crowned queen. And I always, at this point in my pageant journey, I love to say, and I would encourage, I know I have to be the founder once that is formed or named. It's about time they have a pension for us who are in the dream pageant. I'm a veteran. So it's beautiful to sit back. I didn't realize I would have reached to this point because when I entered, people Trinidad and Tobago breezes in St. Lucia. Fan, my queen. Yes, I love how she is just waving Trinidad and Tobago. That's okay, right? I feel good when I could sit and watch to see persons who you would have interacted with or even trained, even give some kind of sort of knowledge in assisting to reach this point. But my next question for you, Portia, is, and this is a reality. It is a reality we have to face. We are plus size women, and there's a lot of advantages there. I mean, I have break glass ceilings, as I have been told. There are others like myself who would have paved the way for us to follow.
Yeah.
Were there any challenges for you at any point in time? Because your journey was a little different. You started from school, right? And were there any challenges for you in those pageants as a plus size woman? And if there was, what were they? In each of them, even up to this present, one that you would have recently gotten your title.
So, I mean, back in the day, the plus size woman was not, or individual was not recognized highly as the pageant material type. And I do the finger thingy because where did this pageant type size thing come from? So back in the day, a full-figured woman or individual was not highly recognized in pageantry because they figured that it was only for the regular sized ladies or girls. So people would come, oh, this is not the place for you. Why is she in that show? Plus size, it's not plus size, it's fat. and why we promoting obesity, and people would come with the negative comment. But for me, I remember always having a very good support system with my aunt, my parents, and my aunt's friends, my friends. So it didn't affect me much hearing the negative comments from the audience, as much as it may have thrown me off in certain situations. But I had to remind myself that I am doing this not only for me, but for that girl who wants to and just doesn't have the confidence to, because she's afraid of what people will say. Getting older, I mean, with the other pageants, with Miss Girls with Confidence, it was only plus size ladies in the pageant. So it made it a lot easier. But I know for sure that getting sponsorship from the by the director, looking for sponsorship for us in that pageant, because it was locally based, and it was not an easy task, because again, people and their mindset, as much as yes, you are now understanding that there will be plus size ladies in whatever there is going on, because I have done modeling. I am a full figured model as well, so I've done modeling. So people need to understand that times are evolving and things are changing. So doing the plus size pageant now, it didn't really seem that bad, but I know that the director would have had a few challenges getting funds for sponsorship, because again, people and their mindset. Doing Miss Plus World, I did apply for this pageant twice, when it was World, Intercontinental, and then Miss World now. So the first two attempts wasn't all that. My very first attempt was when I was still in the youth age, and I had tried to do this at large. So I saw this pageant show up, and I decided that, hey, I'm going to jump on this, because something to promote plus size women, let me take that opportunity. And I know I sent out countless emails seeking sponsorship. Not one person responded. And I had to sadly say to Mama Nanette and Mama Constance that it doesn't look like I am going to be able to do the pageant. They were heartbroken, because they saw my persistence. They realized that, hey, she really wanted to do this, and said to me, don't give up. I think you should try again next year. The next year came, and my age category went up. So I fell under Intercontinental. And again, I tried to seek sponsorship. A few persons came on board, I must be honest with you. Out of 40 letters, I would have gotten sponsorship from 5 persons. Luckily for me, and I say luckily, this pageant became hybrid, because that was after COVID. And, we went for I went for my visa, and it did not return in time to leave for pageant week. So we were told that, okay, well, we're going to have to record the videos and send it in. I did record, and to be honest, I did not feel like I was in a pageant, because you being in a space, it's just you and you are recording. It really did not give off the pageant vibes, like, when you're on the runway, you are going to give off your 110%. Yes, you would have given it there, but there isn't an audience for you to give it. So I did it. I came out with a number of awards like Best Costume and Director's Award, and you name it. There were quite a few out of this one. And I was like, man, I mean, my sponsors, they were happy. I came second, and it felt like queen, to be honest. I did not feel like I did not have the crown, because I was like, so many people were there in person. There were just maybe 3 or 4 of us who did virtual. And then to place so high up in top 5, in top 3, from top 5 to top 3, that alone is remarkable. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give this another go. In 2023, the pageant did happen, but it happened fully virtual. And I did say that I am not going to participate in fully virtual, as I had already done a virtual the year before. So it really wasn't my cup of tea. And then, like I always say, delayed but not denied. So I said, you know what? This is not your moment. You will wait until it is your moment and you will see it happen. So here I am. I'm waiting for my moment. The pageant did not happen in 2024 due to a few restrictions. It did not happen. Well, in 2025, it should have happened, but then it was moved to 2026 because, again, there were quite a few restrictions. The reigning queens were from South Africa. They were not allowed into the US. So the pageant had to be shifted to the Bahamas, where the executive director resides, and was able to put together this on very short notice, I must say. And I was like, okay, girl, you doing this. You are doing this. Yes, you've gotten your visa approved and everything, but that will come in handy soon. But then I did send out quite a few letters, and again, not very successful. But out of maybe 50 this time, I had 20. As much as some people may have come on and they could not give a lump sum, they gave whatever little they had, and that was appreciated. Who gave their services, all of these things came together and allowed this crown to come home. But in all that to say, as much as we are evolving and people are now understanding that not all full-figured women are obese because of overeating, but it could be for medical reasons, it could be medicine-wise, it's having an effect on them, it could be some medical condition or whatever. There are still quite a few persons who do not have the confidence and the faith in plus-size women doing pageantry. So for me, I look at it as still the evolution still hasn't evolutionized as yet, because people are still, and I will say it without any fear or being judged, people are still small-minded. The ignorance level is still visible as to where people are and how they see plus-size women in society. You're muted.
You're muted, Adina.
Yes, sorry. I'm sorry. I sat there and I went down memory lane as Portia gave her background, her journey, the challenges. I know all too well. We plus size women, especially ones who are victorious, we all share similar stories. Because I have had mine as well. Luckily for me, I didn't have any body shaming but the challenges in getting sponsorship. Oh my gosh, I know about that. I know about getting letters, giving them out, and then you will get things like, we wish you all the best with this. And I always say, I know there are challenges for the, not shaming anybody, the smaller figure ladies, they have been getting it as well.
Yes.
But it's not as much as we get there, right? And that's the sad reality. And most times, and I hear this story all too well from country to country, whether it's regional, international, but there are some countries who throw their full support and more, right? It's sad to say that because there are things that we shy away from, but it has to be known because it is there. And we can't pretend like it's not there. There are, mostly to me, plus size women has the most challenges in getting sponsorship. And it's only when you get the crown, then you get some sort of recognition. Why do we have to? My thing is watch at the journey, watch the walk, see the importance. Because even after all of that, look at now, I do a lot of community work, especially with my alma mater, my elementary school. So I give kudos to all the educators, including you, Portia. I recently had principals from time over time when they keep in touch, they will call on me, not just in that capacity. So when I would have won my title as a humanitarian queen internationally, I know all too well that walk is not an easy walk. People see the title, they see the crown, and they see all the glitters but there are nights when we cry because we are human.
Oh yes.
When we're not getting those things that is needed for your pageant. I am not ashamed to say I would have cried many times, right? And then what about when you have to source and fund yourself? It's not easy. So I always empathize when I hear plus size. I am very biased, make no regrets in saying it. I'm very biased for us when I hear, because it's not nice when you hear all these body shaming. And as Portia would have said, sometimes persons are a certain size because it probably could be a sickness, could be something. And even if it is, let us say something, there is a support system. That's why we have so much mental depression, I always say they need to open a school just for mental education. Because if you don't have confidence, all these things, you will see people walking with poise and attitude. It takes a lot. I mean, yes, fortunately for me, as a child, I was always outspoken. But there were many times for every competition, I was nervous as hell. And I'm sure Portia could share that sentiment. We all come out and we smile and we make the turns and the twirls and we portray and we seem so confident and, oh, girl, you got this. But for all who knows why he's standing there, he's sweating. Right? All too much. And you just have to look elegant. Like you are supposed to be. I know. So on that note, I want to ask you, Portia, what were the lessons that you learned and what advice would you give our listeners or anyone who is, whether it's plus size or not, right, who is ever thinking about going into pageantry?
There's a lot, Adina. There's a lot to give. But for me, and this is something that I actually hold so near and dear to me. My first thing was always, and like I said earlier, delayed but not denied. Because sometimes we think that this is our moment. But we realize the hurdles are a lot higher. So we're here, we say, this is my moment, but the hurdle is all over here. And you find it so hard to go back and try to jump over. So once you think you realize that this is where your hurdle is and this is where you are at, just know this is not the moment for you. You are delayed, but you are not denied, because your timing will come when that hurdle is going to be down there and you are going to be over here, and it will be bumpy, but it will still be smooth sailing. All right. So don't for once ever believe that you are denied something. No, it's delayed, but it's not denied. I tell some of my ladies that all the time when they decide, oh, I want to do this pageant, and then they realize that, ooh, it's just not happening for me. I'm going to back down. But again, in your backing down, persistence is key. So you're backing down. This one was not your moment. It's now your time to work on you to get ready for when your moment is here. So again, we have delayed but not denied, but we have persistence is key to success. And I must say that something I'm going to always remember is that the obstacles will come. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to break down, because if you're in a pageant and you don't feel that breakdown moment, sis, you are not ready to be crowned. You are not ready for the pageant that you are in. Better believe it's not going to come so easy. There must be a breaking point at some point, whether it is the week of pageant, it is the week before the pageant, it is 2 weeks before that deadline. You are going to break down at some point because you feel like something is just not working out, something is just not happening. You're doing so much and it's not happening. So for me, I hold on to these 3 things, and I can use them as my testimony and tell any pageant girl or guy or woman or man, if you don't experience these 3, then something is wrong somewhere. Maybe you have already paid the judges to give you that crown. But if you have to work hard for the crown, you are going to experience the delays that are not denied. You are going to experience persistence is key to success. And you are going to experience those obstacles that will break you and rip you apart. And you're hearing persons giving you all of the source of strength that they have. And you feel deep down inside, oh my God, I feel like I'm missing something. What is it? That's it. That is it.
I must say, Portia, it is such a, it's a joy in just summary of having you here, because Portia would have been one of those guests when we would have had some technical difficulties, and she was all glammed up. And, I appreciate you coming back, and we will be tracking your story. People, I am blessed that each of my guests that I connect with Portia very regularly, more than some of my guests who, because of the time zone, that's the blessing we have in the Caribbean. We all carry the same time. But Portia would have shared something. I want to share something. I don't know how she would feel about this. I had known Portia I heard she spoke about the virtual. So I have never done anything virtual in competing in pageantry. But I would have been a virtual international host for Miss Plus World as well. There are changes. And it was an experience because I would have shared it with my other sister queens. And to date, I look at it as a very interesting opportunity. And I have a next opportunity that has arisen, and you all will hear about it on an international scale. No, I'm not going to compete anymore at this point in time, because every time I say international and it has to do with pageantry, people think that, Adina, because most time the history show. No, I'm not going to say hang up my guns or hang up my pageantry shoes. but I serve in other capacities where pageants are concerned. I want to share this with you all. I remember talking to Portia over the phone, at different times and different things, mostly pageantry. And I had to represent, Trinidad and Tobago in Guyana. And here, lo and behold, I did not even know that Portia was going to be one of the judges for me. I don't know, forgive me. I hope I'm allowed. And I am on the stage and I'm back and I'm hearing everything. I was like, oh my God, Portia is going to give me a heart attack because she's very professional, I must say. But you know what was the bittersweet moment for me, which was a little bitter? Imagine you are interacting with this person all this time. They are there now, and that's the professional part and the little task that we have to put aside where you separate friendship or whatever for professional. And she is there judging me, and I can't even go and hug her. I can't say anything to her. I just have to do my pageantry competition and get off the stage, and even after, and I think she had to depart. So, for me, it was like, here I am, finally seeing her in person. But I felt like if I was in a pageant jail because she's there on the table and I am there striding across the runway, modeling, competing. But I must say all these things, and I mean, that was a little moment to just shake a little bit. I would like to, from you, Portia, we talk about different things in pageantry and the experience and it. What tips would you give in terms of makeup, right? Because I have to bring you back. We are going to be tracking your journey because it's new. I know you have a lot, and to me, it has started off on a bumper road already because I'm hearing appearances, and that's good. And that's what I tell people. We are all excited for pageantry, but it's the journey when you get the crown. It's the journey to get to the crown. Some persons are not mentally prepared for reign. And that's why I use the word reign supreme, because here you are, this is royalty. And if we know anything about Miss Plus World, because I can't say any different because the founders are women of, oh my gosh, trust me. And I am glad I would have had them as my pageant mothers, my directors. I must say, from every pageant, whether it was community, national, regional, I always speak highly of these ladies because, trust me, they left an indelible mark. They had an impact in my pageant career, even my personal life. So I always give kudos to them. And I hope that the other sisters who were crowned as well, I hope they, so I wondered if we could just give some tips in terms of the makeup and hair for person, because I get these questions. And I mean, I could answer, but I would like you as the guest to give an answer.
Okay, so as it relates to hair, and Adina is probably saying, the last time I saw you with curly hair, now you're in this short bob. Ladies, hair and makeup is important, especially when you are making appearances. Also, attire. So it's not just the hair and the makeup, but the attire and your footwear. As a delegate, you're going up for a pageant. You have to hold yourself a certain manner, in a particular standard. You cannot be a delegate and you're going up for whether it's a local, regional, or international pageant, and I see you in town with a bonnet, your flip-flops, a t-shirt full of holes, or maybe the t-shirt off your shoulder like this. It's so stretched, it's off the shoulder, your hair in a little bonnet, your face, maybe a little, during the night you probably were crying or about something, and then the tears dry up on your face, and you're in the market, not because you're running to the market, sis. No, baby girl. You get up, you wash your face, you throw on a little highlights, it doesn't have to be much, You take your foundation brush, you pass it over your face, you take your powder brush, you put a little blush, you just pass a little mascara, put a little lip color, boom, you're gone. Take your hair, brush it down, put it in a pony, don't put the bonnet. You must ensure that you are always up to the time. Basically, you are always on stage once you become a pageant girl or a model. You are always on stage, so you should be ready. If Adina meets you on the street and she says, "Hey, you going up as Miss Mova? Let me do a little quick interview with you." How Adina can do a quick interview with you with a bonnet on your head? And oh my God, what will people say when Adina posts that? No. Always ensure that you are up to the time. Now, for me, I have a few wigs. Not a wig girl per se, but right now I have to become a wig girl because I have not decided what I'm going to do with my own hair as yet. As the reigning queen, can you imagine you see the reigning queen in her hair in a mess in town? People, let me tell you, people are not going to stop. They might probably make a meme out of me. So you have to be up to the time. Now, this hair, you are not going to wear it on pageant night. It will not complement maybe whatever attire you have, unless maybe there's a business attire and you want to look nice and businessy and preppy, then you're going to put this on. But you are on stage. You want people to remember you. That hair must be long and flowy, Adina, so by the time you do your turn, that hair is going with you, and so it could be nice and curly, it could be nice and straight, but it has to have length. So at least hair for the shortest, but you could have it under the boobies for the longest. So maybe if you want longer, I don't know. But you must have long hair. Ladies, it's okay to do your makeup on your own, but when you are in a pageant on that finals night or preliminaries night, get a professional. Get a professional so they can contour and change that face. Not that your phone will not recognize you when you have to do face unlock, but they will contour the areas and make you look good for the light. That is important. Even when you are a reigning queen, you have to ensure that you are on point. Let me tell you, the amount of people that said to me, listen, now I know you have good skin, and I'm so sorry. I know if one of them came on here tonight, she would say, listen, where were the rosy cheeks? Because like she said, I know you have beautiful skin, but I want to see a little highlight in the face every time I see you. So don't leave your house without a little highlight on the cheeks, without a little lip color, some vibrant lip color, and, just a little subtle eyeshadow. So this is what I do now. I make sure that I have my little rosy cheeks, my subtle eyeshadow, and I have my lip color. Sometimes I want to go loud, like tonight. I really wanted to do red lipstick. Sometimes I could go as low as a brown or maybe a nude. But your appearance is key as a model, as a pageant girl. And I just think young women in general, Adina, need to keep themselves up to the time. You don't need much. You really don't. But the little will actually let people know that, hey, I have walked into a room and you need to give me the attention that I require.
So that was very, very, very good advice for listeners, especially for the and coming ones who are interested in pageantry. Portia, I definitely have to bring you back. I always say I will bring back each of my guests, but I'm very happy that you would have expressed all these things. I want to thank you for being here, sharing a space. I wish you all the best, Queen, on your journey. You know I'm here as your senior sister in the business. You know you can call on me most times. And what Portia shared there, I'm glad she expressed it. People, I'm not saying I don't wear a bonnet, but I don't wear it for people to say I don't be on the outside. Because you can imagine somebody with the portfolio that I have. See, I am being honest. I know it's a strong word, but I hate seeing ladies, especially if you are in pageants, other ladies will get away with it. But if you are aspiring to be a queen, right? At no point in time should we ever see that bonnet out in the streets.
Out in the street.
Right? And the good thing is, please take the tips. So, Portia, as I said, Miss Plus World 2026, I wish you all the best in your endeavors as a pageant queen. We are supporters here at Pageantry Talks for every title holder, past, present, and future. And as we would say on this note, reign supreme. Until we meet again, thanks for being here with New Era TT. And I'm also in the Guile studio where Uncle Errol Fabian always say love ups to everybody. So Portia, we will see you. Thank you so much. And I hope Sir Charles get a chance to I would have sent the photos so the listeners could see you in your crown and your regalia as well. So as we end and we are prepared for the next Monday, I hope you'll be able to listen if you don't have a busy schedule, because I'm seeing I may have to make an appointment to speak with you soon. To our queen, let me take direction. So as on that note, on this Monday evening, be safe, love you, continue to do what you do with passion, with power, and with purpose, and leave your mark as Miss Plus World for 2026. I love you. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, as I turn over to Sir Charles of New Era TT at this point in time. Thank you, listeners, everyone.
Thank you very much, Adina. And of course, thank you very much for your guests.
Yes.
And you ladies have a good evening.
Yes.
You
Bye.
Bye.
This has been Pageantry Talks with Adina Pollard Simon right here on New Era TV Radio.